Guns N' Roses and Sweet Child of Mine, Radio Wave, getting on the best music mix for Blackpool Wire and the Fylde Coast. Live from your drive tonight, very different. They call this like Halloween Eve, and also they call it like Mischievous Night, where you kind of like do slightly naughty things and play tricks on people. In the past, eggs and flour have been stopped from being sold in certain shops. I don't know if they still do it now. However, we are gearing up for some spectacular fun here in the grounds of Lytham Hall. There is a rehearsal which is going to be happening over the next couple of hours for their very spooky Halloween haunted trail, which is going to be happening in and around these woods that you'll be able to see on our social media. It does look like something out of the Blair Witch Project. It really does. I am with the Victorian ghost hunter from Supernatural Events, Stephen Mercer. You are going on a ghost tour, your final one of the season in Blackpool later this evening.
Indeed. Blackpool Ghost Walk, the very final 2019 public spooky stroll.
Keep an eye on Supernatural Events website. You'll be able to check out all of the tours for 2020. So I'm very privileged that I've managed to get you here this evening, just so that we can try and find out more about the grounds of Lytham Hall this year. Last year, around about this time, we took a tour of the hall itself, the magnificent Grade 1 listed building. Talk us through hauntings and sightings maybe and sounds of Lytham Hall's magnificent grounds.
They are magnificent, I have to say, and where we're stood is an amazing location. The woods are quite dense in some areas, and people that do come out with their dogs, or they come out for a walk around the woodland area, they have seen monks. Just men walking with hoods up, their arms inside their sleeves, wandering through the wooded areas. And when we look back at the history, it does actually make sense, because before we had Lytham Hall, we had a Benedictine priory on this very site. Now, I know Paul is going to talk about the history of the hall, and he'll talk about that as well. But we did have monks living on this land. They worked the land, and it makes perfect sense if they are seen wandering through the wooded area.
Just looking around us at the moment, the sun is setting currently in the background. It's just about disappearing in between the trees there. Some of these trees must be 100, 200 years old. This is huge that we stood in front of at the moment. And that's spooky in itself. That's freaking me out a little bit.
Just looking around, as it is getting a bit darker, it really is eerie, isn't it? It's a great setting, wonderful setting, and if it's like this when they're doing the haunted trail tomorrow, I'm glad I'm not coming.
Me too. Me too. I can't stop thinking about the Blair Witch. I mean, any other sounds in particular, because you don't always see things, but you as humans we tend to hear things first. We're very susceptible to that, and I've heard rumours. I don't know if you can confirm these rumours. Sounds of animals.
You're quite correct. There have been. In the wooded area, when you're wandering around, you might come across some graves. And what we believe is that some of the sounds that people hear as they're walking through the wooded area are coming from those that are buried in the woods. And that's some of the owners, the people that lived at Lytham Hall. It's their pets, their dogs. People hear dogs barking around them when there are no dogs. Now, I know people do bring their dogs and their pets for walks all around Lytham Hall grounds, but when the gates are closed, nobody can come in. So why would the people that work here, that are helping here, the volunteers, why would they hear dogs in the wooded area when the public cannot come in?
Something to think about, certainly.
Very much so. And you will see the graves and the headstones of some of those dogs, and it'll give their names and when they passed away.
So in 2020, we're looking forward. You'll be coming back with Supernatural events for more ghost tours and ghost walks. Will you be walking around the grounds as well in the new year, do you think?
When we do the ghost hunts, the longer late night ones, we do come into the grounds. Not as far as we've come in now, but we do go into them and we do explore. On the ghost tours, that's mostly focused on the hall itself. But on the ghost hunts, there's more time, so we can come out into the grounds.
One thing I really want to know, right? The most haunted location of the Fylde Coast. Can we talk about this just after 5 on the show?
We can.
Is there a most haunted location?
No. There's a lot of most haunted locations. I wish I could pick one, but I've been taking the public into many locations for the last 13 years. And many of those locations have been amazing. Some we're not able to go into. Some we haven't been in for 9 or 10 years, like the Winter Gardens in Blackpool, but we've gone back. And I can't really pick out one anymore. I wish I could, but I can't.
So let's go then instead for the scariest story of the Fylde Coast. We'll do that after 5 on the home run, live from your drive, just ahead of Halloween with Domino's Pizza, the official food of everything. We'll get you the latest travel news after this. It's brand new from The Script.